Hi, everybody. Christian here again with Rachel.
Hello again.
So we're going to go over this assignment one, part one, inductive Bible study project sheet that you guys have done. Pretty self-explanatory on this first section. You had to read in 5 different versions, read aloud in one, and record when. And I don't really care what day you did it. Hopefully not all on the same day. But and then you were also answering these 5 questions again. That's not really where people had issue as much, whether you just did it well or you didn't. Yeah. But we want you to get into this historical background worksheet and talk a little bit about it. Rachel, what were you seeing the students doing, both pros and cons, on this part of the worksheet?
Yes. Okay. So first of all, the good things that I saw is it seems like everyone was very thoroughly reading through Jonah multiple times because I know that a lot of you were trying very, very hard to grab as much internal evidence as you possibly could, which is a really great thing. And those of you that used external sources did use credible ones, and they were used fairly well. So that is a great thing. The thing that there was some confusion on is there was a lot of discrepancy between where we can actually find the information, whether it's in the text or not in the text. So we just kind of wanted to clarify a little bit of what we really were hoping for you to get out of this assignment. So for instance, the author who wrote the book does not explicitly show up in scripture. So you're going to have to go to external sources. And it would be ideal if you looked at a couple of external sources to make sure that everyone's opinions were all matching up. But for something like number 5 down here, purpose is an example of one where we do have some internal evidence of the purpose, Jonah being a prophet. However, it's a little bit lacking without external evidence. So ideally, what should be happening with this worksheet is you should be finding as much internal evidence as possible, but then also supplementing that with external sources. So that would be the ideal situation. So those of you that had only external evidence all the way down one column and that was it, or only internal evidence all the way down one column, that was it. That was not the ideal situation for this worksheet. You should be using both whenever possible. Another example of that would be the where, the location. So the location, we have locations that are said in the text. However, they don't give you much information about those locations. So even though you have locations and you should be supporting those with references, you will need to go outside of the Bible to understand the significance of those places.
Yeah, good. So, like, some examples would be, internal evidence for the author, why it was Jonah, would be because it's clear that God's talking to Jonah. That doesn't mean that is enough evidence to really be internal evidence in the same way that Paul, writing to you, Corinthians, that we see in some of his letters. So there's a difference there, but it'd probably be a good idea to still reference why, just from the book at all, that Jonah might be the author. But if you left that blank and just gave external evidence on that section, you're probably okay. But just to give you kind of the tension of what you could and could not do there. But yeah, as she said, like location, like Nineveh, for instance, it's clearly Nineveh is a location in the book, and it says that, but we don't know much about Nineveh. You can easily find from external evidence what kind of place Nineveh was, what was going on there during that time period of biblical history, and so forth and so on. So, any other things, relevant info? Does that cover it?
That's it. That
That's
covers
it.
it.
Short one. Hope that was helpful. Questions, let us know. Bye-bye.